Yo, here I'll do my best to deliver you all of the noteworthy free PC games this week. In short, I scoured the interwebs so you don't have to. And we start with the heavy-hitting big boy, Assassin's Creed Mirage. You can't argue against Assassin's Creed being a game that redefined the action-adventure genre, with the photorealistic graphics, advanced physics models, and a nearly fanatical attention to detail. It was one of the first games where I was sent to assassinate some dude and killed 95 people on the way. In fairness, it's like the History Channel of a video game. It starts with this really impressive recreation of historical events, and it ends with the blaming everything that ever happened on aliens. So as I was saying, you can take Mirage out for a spin for a total of 2 hours. I guess it's like a real life first date kind of thing. You get to play with each other for 2 hours, and if you want to commit long term, you get to keep the progress from the first date, just like in real life I guess. And if you were wondering, Assassin's Creed Mirage is the Assassin's Creed that you know for better or worse, but this time it takes place somewhere in Baghdad. And now, from the AAA photorealistic juicy goodness that is Assassin's Creed to, Pigeons? Someone woke up one night and said the world is missing a pigeon multiplayer FPS game. I must be the creator of such beauty. You can't disagree with me when I tell you that a significant amount of mushrooms were consumed that night, but that's also okay. Nonetheless, and interestingly enough, the foundation is quite solid here. The movement is juicy and it gives you confidence, which I wasn't expecting watching the trailer. If you take it for a spin, then give Pigeon Man some feedback if you wanna be extra nice. And by the way, if you wanna stay up to date on free games and get them served to you in this quick and quirky setting, then do us both a favor and smash the subscribe button with one of your butt cheeks. Thanks homie. Oh, and as always, links to all of the games mentioned in this video are in the description and they take you straight to the deal, so no googling required. There is currently a Minion Masters DLC giveaway, which you can claim if you have the base game, but luckily enough that's also free. If you didn't know, Minion Masters is a fast-paced hybrid of card games and tower defense mixed into one. You can either play 1v1 or bring a friend for 2v2 and engage in some pretty cool multiplayer battles, where the key really lies in strategy and domination. On Steam currently you can get the DLC Frostbite, Zealous Inferno and Mountain Song, so a good opportunity to take Minion Masters out for a spin if you haven't recently. It's free to claim until April 24th. I want to give you a quick heads up to Golf with Friends, which is free to play on Steam for a few more days. You don't have a lot of time, but I thought it was worth mentioning. If you're lucky enough to have any of those things that are called friends, then you could actually have a few fun hours together. Another quick one, there's a prologue out for My Hotel, where you get to run around and take care of hotel clientele to make sure everything is spick and span, and then something with gangsters and crime bosses all of a sudden. It's a quite cool setting that for some reason reminds me of the time I was an exchange student in Poland. I wanna get your eyeballs on this beautiful Joe and Joe, which is a challenging physics-based platformer about two giraffes who are strapped together for eternity, and again those mushrooms that I mentioned earlier. Here you play either solo or with a friend and make your way through some unique environments that'll test your coordination and definitely your patience. To be fair, you'll experience the silliness of controlling two giraffes whose bodies are tied together and move entirely based on physics. Oh, and don't play this with your significant other unless you wanna be single so that you can mingle. You're welcome. As I was browsing through Steam, I saw a blast from the past has shown up. FreeInfantry, which is a massive multiplayer capture the flag, skirmish, top-down, bug hunt game with an isometric twist. If I remember correctly, I think I went hard on the original game, which came out sometime in the late 90s, and it was one of the first massive multiplayer online isometric shooters. I guess it's fair to say for our young viewers that FreeInfantry is like Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, but it's overhead and pixelated. I want to take a big jump over to the Epic Store, where you can get your sticky fingers on 4 free games this week. The Big Con and Town of Salem 2, which we discussed last week, and there's really no need to go over those bad boys again. But starting April 25th, you can also claim Industria and Lisa the Definitive Edition. Industria is a juicy first-person shooter that takes you to East Berlin into this parallel reality, sometime shortly before the end of the Cold War. Here, you will unravel the secrets of a mysterious parallel dimension while searching for a missing colleague. The developer really wants you to explore a haunting reality where the truth awaits, and here you will discover the dark past that lies beyond. It's a €20 game, and that's sitting in with mostly positive reviews, and I actually agree. It's a decent action sci-fi single-player dystopian FPS in a super cool world, which could also be our world in a few years when the people over on Boston Dynamics go crazy. Alongside Industria, you can get Lisa Definitive Edition, which is a miserable, hilarious RPG of your wildest nightmares. Here, you undertake a relentless journey through the post-apocalyptic wasteland of Olaf. Beneath its charming exterior is a world full of disgust and moral dissolution, just like my own little home. Here, you will learn what kind of person you are by being forced to make choices that permanently affect the gameplay. You have to make sacrifices to keep your party members alive, whether it is taking a beating for them, losing limbs, or some other inhumane torture. In this game and the world it sets to create, you will learn that being selfish and heartless is the only way to survive. It's currently sitting in with overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and that's for a good reason. I saw an interesting comment while I was going through the Steam review page. It said degenerated men doing nothing with their lives in a world devoid of women. A relatable world for the majority of Steam player base. That was a 10 out of 10. And nonetheless, a total of 4 free games on the Epic Store next week, and that's a pretty good week. Remember, 2 of the deals expire on the 25th, so claim those now if you're a hoarding free games type of guy. Ubisoft is giving you a free pass for their test season of Xdefiant. Here you play in a diverse range of 14 maps at launch across several different arenas and linear modes, including zone control, escort, occupy, and more. And here, as always, you can choose between fighting in a casual match or climb the ladder boards in a competitive ranked mode. Unfortunately, I just saw it now and it's only running until the 21st of April. So depending on when you see this video, you might not have that much time to take it out for a spin. I want to give you a quick heads up for our sailing homies, if we have any of those. AC Sailing is free to claim on the Epic Store. I guess you have to sail from A to B as fast as you can using the power of wind. It's online, so you will most likely be racing a handful of wannabe Jack Sparrow pilots of the Caribbean fanboys. But I always think it's interesting to take out games that you wouldn't play just to check them out, so try this one as well. Finishing up with a juicy one, Unescape, where you jump into a stunning 3D world in a free nostalgic 2D platformer. Here you fight and explore your way through an amazing student-made adventure, where your hand-to-eye coordination will be important to land these pixel-perfect jumps on some pretty cool levels. It's free to claim on the Epic Store and for sure worth parking in your digital library for the foreseeable future. And I think that's pretty much the noteworthy freebies worth mentioning this week. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch my video. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, subscribe if you haven't, why not? Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.